PDO numbers because there's 2 fiber runs.
Yeah.
And they're going to call it fiber 1 and fiber 2. So everything in PDO on the PDO 1 side is fiber 1. Everything on the PDO 9 side is fiber 2. The way they determine PDO 1 and PDO 9 is that they are the first PDO that leaves that the fiber runs into when it leaves the JSO. So this happens to be PDO 1. PDO 1 is here. This one is PDO 9. It's here. So this is fiber 2.
So it's
PDO 9,
like
fiber 2.
Well?
It's always going to say PDO 9.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't always think that this number matches this one, because when you get into, you're going to have maps where there's doubles. There'll be 2 boxes right next to each other. You're going to have maps where there's 3, where they're triplets. There'll be 3 of these boxes right next to each other. And they're going to list it, PDO 4, PDO 3, PDO 2, and it might say, and just say there's 20. And it might say this one has 5, this one has 15, and this one has 7. Where that little number is. But your total HP count is 20. You just break it up evenly.
Where's it tell you it's 20 total?
Well, this says that it's 7 HP. I'm just
Okay,
saying
okay.
when there's a double or there's a triple,
Right.
these will be stacked on top of each other.
Right,
That's
right.
why you saw maybe on that other print that I highlight the PDO in a color and then draw a line over to it. Because when my guys are on the ground doing their ring cuts, I want to make sure that they know which PDO they're working in.
Gotcha.
I don't want them to have to guess. So fiber 1 is the 96 strand, fiber 2 is a 60 strand, because the PDO 9 leaves on this fiber run and leaves the JSO and hits this PDO 9 first. For this fiber run, it hits PDO 1 first. So that's how we know the difference between fiber 1 and fiber 2. And you can mark it up the print however many times you want, just so you have an idea of what's what, until you get familiar with everything and you're used to it. Maybe I'm doing baby steps, and it seems silly, but it worked for me, and I'm just going to do it the way I know
It
it.
works.
Keep it simple.
Then I'll highlight the print. You do it however you want, whatever colors you want. I'll take this, comes this way. First color, fiber 1. Fiber 1. I guess, again, might all be redundant, but at least you have something to go back to if you get confused. You started your work, you started your build in the hotel or at home, and you get a phone call, or you got to run out with your wife or whatever, and you don't know where you left off when you come back. But you remember for whatever reason you were working on, you know, this, whatever this splitter was. At least everything is highlighted and you got an idea. Something to come back to. Same thing here. I like that. And now I know I have PDO 1 and I have PDO 9. I have PDO 1 and I have PDO 9 here. So PDO 9 is in purple. I highlight it here. And then I highlight it here.
Are you going to be emailing these sheets to us, or
They'll get emailed to you from Wes.
so we have to print them up ourselves?
Or read them off your phone or tablet. It's up to you. I mean, there's, I guess with Acrobat or something, you can highlight these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can.
If you so, or laptop.
Well, a lot of times I just connect my phone to my laptop.
Yeah. However you.
Acrobat.
Usually it's free.
It is.
To read,
Reader.
not to
Yeah,
not
read
to
it,
edit.
not to edit.
They got real greedy.
Yeah.
I don't think I pay for it. Oh, maybe I got it free
Yeah,
somehow.
maybe it came with
Like
your
$6
computer.
a month. Or maybe
There is a free editor out here.
Yeah.
For Acrobat.
Nowadays, they want you to pay a monthly fee.
Yeah, it's like $6 though. Nothing.
You already bought the software, now you got to pay. You know what? They're getting ridiculous.
So I do this on each.
You gotta eat. On each video one.
On each PDO 1. I'm gonna try to mess up. He's recording me.
I'm nervous.
And we have.
Which side's
I
a
got
good side?
company. That's good.
Witnesses. This is what he said.
I know. I am going to put something together, probably not on a PowerPoint, but a couple pages with photos, and I'm going to bring it to Altice, and I'm going to say, Ron, can you please review this and sign it?
They don't have something.
And I'm going to make copies of this, and I'm going to give it to the guys. So now, if your QC guy goes out, please give him this also. The guy's going to have it with him. This gives him something to refer back to until he's got it down pat, and then he always has something to, so he can recheck.
They don't have something themselves?
No.
Fascinating.
Because that way they can say, well, I didn't tell you that. What are you doing that for? I didn't tell you. They've been good. It hasn't been easy, but they've been workable.
That's good. 'Cause that's not the case all the time.
It's not.
No.
It's not. The QC guys they're calling the Altice Technical Services a sub to Altice USA. I don't know how that works, why they would do it. They're calling themselves contractors like us. So
Okay.
if you're a contractor
I
like
get it.
us, then work with us.
Verizon does the same thing.
So they have, like I said, they have been calling. They'll call me, or if they fail something in the field, they'll go to Ron, and then Ron will call me up and say, Brett, can you go back and take care of this? This was the issue, but I got to make sure he explains it to me right on the phone, and that I have something to write with. I'm not in the bucket, so that I can write it down. And because I got a couple notes on the baggie or the plastic bag that I wrote with the black marker because I had nothing. All right, so now this is done. So this sets you up so that you know which splitters are going to go into PDO1 and which ones go into PDO9. And then on the trays, we're going to label the trays PDO1, PDO9. From the splitter tray to the splice tray, we run a clear transportation tube. The transportation tubing will hold up to 6 buffer tubes. So it's 6 or less. If for some reason we have to add a 7th or an 8th fiber, the buffer tube will have to be added. Okay?
Because they're only filling the buffer tubes up to 60%.
The entire buffer tube gets used,
Oh, does it?
but they're not using blue through aqua.
Oh.
They'll use blue through slate, blue through white, blue through red. I don't know, did you play with the fiber yet? This is it.
I haven't played with your guys' fiber, but I've played with fiber. Lots of.
So this is Altice, has their name on this fiber now. And these are the buffer tubes. You can just peel the rubber off without damaging the fiber. So if you need if you needed to ring cut into here for whatever reason and get into the middle, you can scratch it off with your fingernails. And
I've been running, trying to do that, actually damage some fibers.
you got to
I don't
be
know if I'm doing it.
yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, it's not so much pressure as it is.
It's more of a pulling apart, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't, like you said, you don't want to scratch the colors off the buffer tube, off the tubing, or off the fibers.
And crack it
All right,
too.
so that's it. I don't know if everyone's handled it yet, but
That's going to save a lot of time
yeah,
compared to the regular.
no strength member in there.
Yeah, I saw it. I got it.
Regular
No, there isn't one.
That's not a strength number?
No,
It's small.
White.
no.
Yeah, that's you probably look. Yeah, you're looking at the
White or
white.
yellow.
The white or yellow.
But there's no strength
They
members
look,
in here
they
at all.
look thinner.
The strength member is here.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
one on each side.
Okay.
All right, and it's not that split stuff where you knife into it and you open it like a banana. You have to physically slice up the entire side of the strength member on both sides, and then ring cut into it with a regular copper tubing cutter.
Oh, a jacket stripper, right?
I don't know. This has been working the best.
Yeah, I bought one of those.
I got 3 of those at home.
Okay, we'll bring one to
Yeah, I
work.
was gonna
I
say,
laid
what
my
kind of
home's
Yeah. Go and get one. It doesn't have to be the HDX brand. It,
Home Depot.
even if it's the one where it's got the crank out here, it's
Yeah,
it's
that's
a little
pretty big.
longer.
It's like
That's what the guys at
20
Cablevision
bucks.
have.
I mean,
I do have.
is this brand
It's
feel a
the Home
little?
Depot brand.
Does it feel a little better than the other one?
Doesn't matter. You can get
The
the
other
blue
one's
one.
gives you
Or,
like a handle on it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
easier to
You can get it
spin.
like
there's not a lot of work to it. Believe
No.
me. You can turn that so that the wheel goes. So once you have this stripped, you've got a flat spot here and you've got a flat spot here. I just put the wheel on the flat spot, tighten it in, even let it go into the strength member a little bit. A couple turns around, and then when I'm ring cutting into the middle, I just kind of work on the top side because you just want to break through the plastic So you can get your set on needle nose in here, and being that you have it stripped on both sides all the way up, now it becomes like the banana cable. All right. There is a tool out there. I have one in my truck. I'm still trying to narrow it down, because you can take this and tape it to a handle on your truck, and then put that stripper on there that's got the two blades and pull it down the center. But the hewed out part in the tool is a larger diameter than what this is. So sometimes the cut is right on the outside, and then it becomes up thin, and then it goes back out. I don't know if you guys saw Chad trying to use that in the field the other day.
I'm trying to use it, but I couldn't.
So it's something that either two guys have to do, or we found out by taping it to a sign, taping it to the handle on the back of your truck. I've got one of those short ratchet straps that goes around a telephone pole, and I just make the strap tight, and then we were taping this to the part that you're ratcheting with, so that it's stationary, and he was able to pull the tool up. We haven't completely narrowed it down and mastered it, but it is something that looks like it'll come to fruition and be a little easier to strip. All right, so this is done. Take the paperwork and put it to the side. You don't have to refer back to any of this stuff now until you're out in the field. This page, by the way, tells you which fibers are going to remain in PDO 7 in order to be spliced into in the future for fiber to the home. So in every one of these will hold X amount of, so the first one has 2 in it, first 2 fibers, blue tube, blue and orange. The next one's going to be blue tube, orange through the orange, or green in the blue tube through orange on the orange tube, and so on as it works its way back. So PDO 7 has fibers 3 through 14. PDO 6 has fibers 15 to 25, and so on. So when you ring cut into your fiber for this PDO, this is the matrix that tells you which fibers remain here, the ones that you're going to physically cut in the center of your ring cut. The ring cut is going to be, bring the cable down, it's going to obviously make its turn and go back up. You find the center of that, and we're giving it from the center an arm's length measurement. I put 2 pieces of tape, one on each fiber jacket, and that's the part that we open up. It's about 10 feet of fiber between the 2 pieces of tape. We open that up. For the fibers that are going to remain, we find the center. We peel out the fibers that are going to stay, the ones, and cut them. The ones that have to continue through the loop to go to the next PDO, get coiled up into the splice tray of the PDO. We're not working on them today, but I just wanted to touch on it a little bit. So this is your matrix for PDOs. This is your matrix for the JSO.
I want to get a picture of that. I'd like to get a picture of them.
Picture of them. What?
At least.
Here, go ahead. Take a picture of everything. I don't care.
Should have been recording the whole time.
Well, no, I'm going to have one of you guys.
What? No, we ain't going. Nah, we got work to do. You know,
They're on their own 1099.
Let me follow you guys around with your recording.
All right, I got a pocket full of money. That was a steak
No,
lunch
you don't.
shop.
You're working in Florida.
That's true.
I know, right?
That is true.
He said, I got pending money. That's what you got.
It's not going to come.
What? It has to.
No, it
Legally.
won't. No, it doesn't.
What?
No, it doesn't. It's not coming. I got paid. I was down for 5.5 weeks. I got paid for a week and a half. That's it. I can show you.
Yeah, but
And I haven't seen it.
you worked, right?
Oh yeah. They're not paying.
Legally.
You want? Okay. There are a bunch of guys down there getting ready to sue. They got an attorney involved. I already got. They asked me if I want to jump on board. I
You
said,
need to have more
no.
money than the prime.
Right.
That's what it's going to come down to.
Mm.
You need to have more money than the prime in order to sue.
Well, they got a guy coming in on a contingency basis, but you know,
I mean, unless you can get all 50 contractors that didn't get paid to go to the same law firm,
that's what they're doing.
then
Yeah,
maybe you
yeah.
got a better leg to stand on.
That's what they're
But
doing.
if you,
Yeah,
I think
that's
if you
gonna-
go individually,
That's not cut into,
Oh, you
into
can't.
your money.
That's what we have to
That
do.
law firm's gonna take a chunk.
That's what
40%?
That's why they're taking the case.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason they're taking it. Oh, okay, we got money here.
Okay, we got
Get
you
it.
got $100 for you.
Yeah.
so this isn't the way Cablevision didn't come to me and say, Brett, this is what we want you to do. They emailed me the paperwork and said, here it is.
Yeah.
So
You gotta
I was
figure it out.
fortunate to be able to have a 2-hour meeting with the lead guy in Long Island before the project started. And then I was fortunate enough to have 2 separate days of spending time with a Cablevision technician in his splice lab take pictures of what we're gonna build today.